Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're wrestling with, well, probably the most valuable and least controllable resource we all have,
Mm.
time.
It's the big one. And we got this fantastic question from you, the listeners, that really gets to the heart of it.
It really does. It's this. If time is irreversible, you can't buy more of it, then why do our choices, our efforts, even our regrets, why do they still feel so meaningful?
It's the ultimate paradox, isn't it? Because we all feel it. The clock on the wall ticks at a constant pace, but subjectively, years just vanish.
Right, you look back and think, where did that go?
Exactly. And the fear isn't just that life is short. I think the real fear, the deep one, is realizing that time flowed by and you're not sure if you were ever truly present for it.
That's the core anxiety we're going to try and dismantle today. So our mission for this deep dive is to look at this from three angles. First, we'll go into some Eastern philosophy, which just turns the whole idea of time on its head.
Then we'll get into the science and psychology of why time feels like it's speeding up in the modern world.
And finally, we'll tackle that question head on. The meaning of choice in a universe that only moves forward. So, okay, let's start at the beginning. Let's challenge what we even think time is.
Let's start in the East. What's so fascinating is that the big schools of thought, Taoism, Buddhism, Confucianism, they all start from a place that's, well, completely alien to the typical Western view.
Which is?
That time isn't some external force like a river you're stuck in. It's a projection of the human mind or the heart.
So the suffering we feel about running out of time, it's not the clock's fault. It's our fault for being so attached to the clock.
That's the radical shift. Let's look at Taoism.
Yeah.
Laozi, the foundational figure, he barely even talks about time. For him, what's important is the natural way of things.
The flow.
The flow. Things grow and they decline, not because a timer went off, but because it's their natural course. The key idea here is that time isn't walking. You are. And you're either walking with the current or you're fighting against it.
I see. So the goal isn't to manage time, it's to find your alignment with what's already happening.
Exactly. And then Zhuangzi takes it even further. He has that famous dream, right? He dreams he's a butterfly.
And when he wakes up, he doesn't know if he's a man who dreamt of being a butterfly or a butterfly now dreaming he's a man.
Right. And if you're not even sure who you are, then how can time have any certainty? From that perspective, time is more like a hallucination that happens when your consciousness shifts.
Wow. Okay, so Taoism kind of makes time irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
But Buddhism seems to see it as a direct source of our problems.
It really does. The Buddha, Shakyamuni, was incredibly direct about this. He basically said the past is just a memory, the future is just imagination.
Neither one is real.
Neither truly exists outside of your mind right now. The only thing that's real is this present moment of awareness. It's all just mental activity.
And this ties straight into that core Buddhist concept of impermanence, which, can sound kind of depressing.
It can, but it's not meant to be. It's a warning. Because everything is in flux, your body, your relationships, this very moment, any attachment to them, especially the idea that you can own a piece of time, is what causes suffering.
So time isn't the enemy that's robbing you.
No. Your attachment is the enemy. You're clinging to something that was never yours to begin with.
This really draws a clear line, then, between the Eastern and Western approaches our sources talk about. The West, especially since the Enlightenment, loves to see time as a quantity.
Oh, absolutely. A resource to be managed.
Something you can chop up, measure, control with a calendar and KPIs.
Whereas the East sees it as a state, something you can experience deeply but never possess. And the really huge consequence of that is the idea of awakening or enlightenment.
Right. It's not something you get by putting in 10,000 hours. It's not about the length of time.
It's about the depth of perception in a single moment.
Which brings us to this really crucial philosophical point. The reason we can't buy or replay time is because we never owned it in the first place.
You can't lose what you don't have. All you ever truly own is your clarity, your presence in the now.
That's a huge shift in perspective. But before we dive into the psychology of why we feel like we're losing time, we have to touch on the physics. Because, as it turns out, time isn't even consistent across the universe.
Yeah, this is where things get really weird. Before Einstein, pretty much everyone just assumed time was, a constant, a river flowing at the same speed for everyone, everywhere.
And relativity just shattered that idea.
Completely. Einstein proved that time is not absolute. It's affected by gravity.
So the stronger the gravity,
the slower time flows. And this isn't a theory, it's a measurable fact.
So to put this in perspective for you listening, imagine space-time is like a stretched out sheet of rubber.
Good analogy.
And a massive object, like the Earth, is a bowling ball you place in the middle. It creates a curve, a dip in the fabric.
And time is part of that fabric. So where the fabric is curved more deeply, closer to the Earth's surface, time literally passes more slowly than it does up in orbit where gravity is weaker.
And this has real-world consequences. I mean, your GPS depends on this.
It absolutely does. The satellites are in a weaker gravitational field, so their clocks tick just a tiny fraction of a second faster than ours down here.
And if engineers didn't constantly correct for that tiny difference.
Your GPS would be off by several kilometers a day. It would be useless.
So if cosmic time isn't even a single straight line, if it's relative and messy, it raises a huge question.
Why are we humans so psychologically attached to this idea of a fixed past that we should be able to go back to?
That sets us up perfectly for the modern problem. Physically, a second is still a second, but subjectively, our years are just evaporating. We have to look at this psychological acceleration track.
Right, because that's what's really disappearing, our subjective feeling of time being lived.
Okay, so let's break this down. The sources point to something called attention density. The idea is that time feels long and rich when you're paying close attention and processing a lot of meaningful new information.
But our modern environment is basically designed to destroy attention density. It's fragmented, we're task switching, we're scrolling through endless short videos.
So you feel busy in the moment.
You feel very busy, you're reacting, clicking, responding, but your brain isn't forming deep, robust memories. And if you don't create memories, you look back on a week or a month and it's just a blur.
It's like it never happened.
Yeah.
And that connects to the novelty deficit.
Yes. Think about being a kid. A summer vacation felt like a lifetime because everything was new. First time at the beach, first time on a roller coaster. Your brain was constantly writing new files.
But as an adult, life becomes routine. Same commute, same job, same meals.
And the brain, which is all about efficiency, takes a shortcut. It says, okay, Tuesday looks a lot like Monday. I don't need to save a whole new file. I'll just merge them. And poof, there goes your sense of time.
And this internal psychological thing is then amplified by huge sociological pressure. We're in this culture of efficiency.
Constantly.
The question is no longer, how did you experience your day? It's, what did you produce today?
Yes, the present moment becomes toolified. That's such a powerful term from the sources. It means the now is just a tool for getting to the future. You're not enjoying your walk, you're getting your steps in so you can be healthy later.
Which is what that sociologist, Hartmut Rosa, calls social acceleration. Everything is speeding up at once. Technology, the pace of social change, even the expected pace of our own lives.
And here's the trap. All the time we save, with technology, faster internet, food delivery, it doesn't lead to more leisure. It just gets filled with more things to do.
We save an hour and we cram 5 new tasks into it.
It's a hamster wheel.
So we need to be clear about a common mistake. People confuse this state, this false busy feeling, with genuine flow.
A huge distinction. True flow, Csikszentmihalyi's concept, is when you're completely absorbed in a meaningful challenge. Time might seem to disappear while you're in it.
But you come out of it with a powerful memory, a sense of accomplishment and experience. It adds to your subjective sense of time. It doesn't erase it.
Exactly. So the solution to this time squeeze isn't more efficiency apps. It's not better time management.
It's stronger presence. It's a stronger sense of existence. It brings us right back to that Eastern philosophy.
It does, and the sources offer some really practical steps. First, carve out segments of undisturbed complete time. No multitasking. Just do one thing.
Second, you have to deliberately manufacture novelty. Take a different route to work. Learn a skill you're terrible at. Break the routine.
And maybe the most important one, free moments from utility. Go for a walk just to walk. Eat a meal without looking at a screen. Stop turning the present into a tool.
The check-in question we should all be asking ourselves is just, am I actually here right now?
That's the key, uniting mind, body, and heart in the present.
Which brings us to the final and maybe the toughest part of this deep dive. If time is irreversible, if we can't go back, why does any of this matter? Why bother choosing carefully or trying hard or even feeling regret?
And the answer we found is, I think, incredibly powerful. It's that time is irreversible precisely why all of those things matter. The irreversibility is what gives them weight.
Okay, let's start with choice. There's this fatalistic view that if the future is already written, then our choices are just an illusion.
Right, the idea of a pre-written script. But the sources make a critical distinction. Even if there is a script, you don't get to read it. You have to act out your scene with limited information and genuine feelings.
The meaning isn't in the outcome, It's in how you respond to the unknown in front of you.
That's pure Jean-Paul Sartre. He said we are condemned to be free, not punished, but inescapably free. Even refusing to choose is a choice. The real question is whether you accept responsibility for it.
Okay, so that's choice. But what about regret? It feels so negative, like a form of self-torture. Everyone says no regrets, just let it go.
And that's such shallow advice. Regret isn't there to torture you. It's a tool. It's painful because it shows you where you acted against your own deepest values.
It's a signal.
It's a signal. It's your evolved self sending a message to your past self. The point isn't to wish you could go back. It's to use that information to update who you are now so you make a better choice next time.
So regret isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of growth.
Exactly. It's a navigation tool that points you forward, not backward.
All right, last one. Effort. What's the point of all the struggle if you fail? You pour your heart into a project for years and it goes nowhere. What was that for?
This requires the biggest perspective shift of all. The purpose of effort is not to control the future outcome. It can't. The purpose of effort is to shape the person who faces that future. The external result might vanish, but the internal results, the skills you built, the character you forged, your resilience, those are yours forever. They're the true product.
So you're building an asset within yourself that you can carry forward no matter what happens.
Which brings us full circle, back to Taoism. The highest state isn't apathy. It's not, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's what the sources call high-intensity clarity.
I will do my absolute best, but I am not attached to the result.
That's it. That's the whole game. The meaning of life isn't found at the end of the timeline. It's found in every moment you commit to acting, to loving, to trying, knowing you don't control the outcome.
So in the end, time isn't a measure of how long you live.
It's a measure of how real you live.
Let's wrap this up with the 3 big truths we've landed on today. First, time is irreversible, and that demands responsibility.
Second, time is unpurchasable, which demands that we treasure the present moment.
And third, time is uncontrollable, which demands that we awaken to that presence.
And that leaves us with one final provocative thought for you to chew on. We know from Einstein that time literally slows down in stronger gravity. So if you had the chance to go live near a black hole where time would pass incredibly slowly for you relative to the rest of the universe, would you be gaining more life?
Or would you just be lengthening the amount of time you spend not being present? A choice between physics and philosophy. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.